Hey guys, Jim Graves. So anyway, like I told you guys before, I'm gonna start doing books and stuff and reviewing them chapter by chapter, and then reviewing them as a whole. So anyway, my first one I decided to do, and we'll do the first chapter on this. I'm gonna do all the chapters, and then I'm gonna do the whole series. This one is No Longer Human. It's a series that I really like, so I think I'm going to do stuff on my favorite shelf and then maybe expand out from there. So, anyway, so this one's only got 4 chapters in book one, um, but it starts out basically with the guy trying to find something to write a story on, and he ends up basically getting a weird anonymous email with 3 pictures on it, um, basically of the same guy. He's not 100% sure what it is, but on the first one, it's like a little kid with his family, and then on the next one, it looks like an old guy with long white hair, and then the very last one is a guy in like a business suit. Back to his hair, like he looked like as a child. So this is really good to pique the guy's interest to go out and figure out what he wants to do with that, and then you actually get into the guy's life, the main character. Um, see if we can get a name for him. I think it's Yozo. Yozo, I think that's what it is. So, basically, he's in high school and everything, and he's a practical joker, all this other stuff, and you know, has friends and all this other stuff, gets good grades, is the idol student, all that other stuff, and basically is going through trying to figure all that stuff out. But he basically thinks that everybody um, in this is just a nuisance. Like they don't actually matter. So he's just putting on that front for school, trying to make the jokes and everything. And one of the pages in here um, that I really like, it shows a puzzle and it shows him going through life, growing up, and everything. And he actually says, uh, "I'm a clown. I've played the clown for 17 years." And so he's letting you know in his life that basically he went in and has done this, has played the clown, and been the practical joker, even though he didn't really care about it. There wasn't anything that he really wanted to do in that aspect. Um, so, moving forward from there, um, he kind of finds his passion, I guess you could say that, for doing some art and everything. He has one friend that's in the school. Um, it's his name is Masayo, and we're gonna see Masayo a couple times throughout the series. Um, that's just future stuff. Letting you guys know that, but that's kind of like his friend. It's a guy that gets with him, and basically because the guy's cool, he thinks, oh well, this guy's cool too. Let me hang out with him. We'll be able to do stuff together, and going from there, they go to bars and smoke and all the other stuff that you aren't really supposed to know or supposed to do um, without getting looked at like you're a delinquent, basically. Um, so they went out to a bar, had some stuff, drinking, and then they decide that they're gonna go somewhere else. You find out that the main character, has an apartment by himself. They go to like a little nightclub bar thingy, and they have it sectioned off, almost like looks kind of like it could be a movie theater, but every little stall has something going on, and it's all them every stall has basically people you go in, and you basically go in and you have sex. Not sure what it all is, if it's like a brothel or something. I mean, they have a disco ball, so it's kind of weird. And they include the disco ball in the art with the lights. I really enjoy that. But this girl gets with him, they kiss, they do stuff. And he kind of goes into it that he enjoys it, but he doesn't like the girl. So he's basically using her and all that other stuff, as a basically teenager. Promises to call her, doesn't do that, throws it up and throws it away. And he's kind of a little bit of a dick. He on this, what I really like is they put his mind, what he's thinking, in black, on like a black sidebar, and you kind of get to see that when it's going through. So the girl gave him his number, and he basically goes in and says, she's like any other girl, doesn't matter who she is, I can do whatever, basically. So he goes in and basically does that. So crazy stuff. And then he is a little upset because now they're getting to the end of the year, and he thinks that everybody is ordinary, and he's the one that's a cut above the rest, and that he shouldn't be ordinary and stuff. And he basically is pulling himself away still. He doesn't believe that he's an ordinary person, like it doesn't really matter. So and then I like at the end of every chapter, they give you this little summary of what it says, and it tells you what page it's from in the book. And this one says, I bore the weight of a dozen misfortunes, such misfortunes that had a fellow man taken on a single one of them, I couldn't but think it would destroy him. So that's kind of the end of chapter 1. A lot of stuff happens in chapter 1 with No Longer Human. That's one of the good things, is I think every chapter with it actually goes through and pushes you. And it kind of plays on your human emotions, because you're not seeing like one thing happening and it's not growing forward. You get to see a little bit here of this guy's life, a little bit moving forward and stuff like that. So we get all of this guy's life. I forgot his name already. Yozo Oba. And so we get to know his life a little more in depth. But like I said, this is kind of the groundwork for this one. We get to see how he's putting on this front. He's been comical the whole time. Hasn't really done anything. Spoiler for future chapters, him doing the little bit of art that he did, it's something he focuses on the future, which is something good we get to see later on. So, I mean, really good stuff. But yeah, we get to know that. We get to know the character, kind of what he is, and see how he sees human beings. Part of it with this one, because it is a psychological series, is whenever he likes a certain character, that character stands out more than others to him for some reason. So with this one, the girl that he basically slept with and everything, that used at this nightclub or whatever, he didn't have any value in her. Like he said, girls are just girls. Like you can get another one whenever you want, basically. And with him, he's got that understanding that you can do that and you can use them, because he is a male protagonist and everything, and that's how he sees it, as you can enjoy the pleasure, you can enjoy that, but you don't let yourself get attached, basically. You just use. And so that's kind of his thing here in chapter 1. Really good basis for the series. But I mean, as we go through the chapters and everything, you'll get to see more about it. Like I said, the part that I really like where they include chapters from the other book, or the written part, because I think this one is actually it was written by somebody else, and then they kind of turned it into a manga, but how they did it was really crazy. But just that last part, I bore the weight of dozen misfortunes, and that's what he feels like all the time. Such misfortunes that had a fellow man taken on a single one of them. So if a single man can get taken by one of these misfortunes, he's had over a dozen of them. It's him basically relating to, I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders and stuff like that. And this being a psychological manga, we are going to have a deeper meaning with it. So, and then the last part, I couldn't but think it would destroy him. So it's just all that build up, that this is, all these little things are happening, and it's building up to basically tear the guy down and stuff. So that's it for chapter 1. We'll move to chapter 2. Get ready for it. Really good stuff in that. This is one of my favorite series, guys, so I highly recommend it. And we'll move on to chapter 2. So you guys can watch that one too if you guys think that you will like that, or whatever. And then later on I'll do a whole thing of the whole series, but this is just like in-depth looking at the pages and stuff for the chapter parts. Anyway, guys, I will catch you guys later. Jen Graves out. Bye.